Good evening, weary travelers of the realms beyond. Tonight, we turn our gaze to the enigmatic figures known as rangers, solitary wanderers of the wilds, guardians of the untamed edges where civilization dares not tread too deeply. Picture them now, cloaked in earth, toned leathers weathered by countless storms, boughs slung across their backs like faithful companions, eyes sharp as a hawk's, scanning horizons that blur between shadowed thickets and starlit skies. Rangers are the bridge between the structured order of cities and the chaotic beauty of nature's heart. They are hunters, trackers, and protectors, their essence drawn from the primal forces that shape the multiverse of Dungeons and Dragons. In the vast tapestry of the Forgotten Realms, they roam as silent sentinels, their paths etched in the lore of ancient groves and endless frontiers, where the wind carries whispers of long-lost secrets. Rangers often begin their paths in isolation, perhaps forged in the verdant depths of the high forest, where elven enclaves blend seamlessly with the trees, or amid the steaming jungles of Chult, where ruins of fallen empires hide beneath vines teeming with hidden perils. A young wood elf might awaken to the call of Mieliki, the forest queen, her divine favor granting an innate bond with the land, teaching them to track beasts through underbrush as thick as night. Or a hardy human from the Daylands, scarred by orc raids on frontier villages, vows to patrol the borders, their senses attuned to the faintest snap of twigs that signals intruders. In Icewind Dale's frozen expanses, rangers endure blizzards that howl like mournful spirits, forging shelters from snow and communing with the resilient tundra spirits under auroras that paint the sky in shimmering greens and purples. Their code is woven into the fabric of the world, profound respect for the cycle of life, slaying not for conquest, but to maintain balance, honoring the ebb and flow of seasons that mirror the rhythms of our own breaths. They draw power from nature's wellspring, spells like faint glows of primal energy that mend wounds or mark foes with invisible threads of fate. In the quiet communion with beasts and fae, they find allies, a loyal wolf padding silently at their side, or a pseudo-dragon perched on a shoulder, its scales glinting like embers in the firelight. The atmosphere of their existence is one of serene vigilance, the crackle of a campfire against the encroaching dark, the hush of a river flowing over smooth stones, the distant rumble of thunder that promises renewal. Rangers have always been the unseen watchers, emerging in the earliest chronicles as guardians of the wild, evolving through ages of legend to master terrains from sun-baked deserts to echoing caverns. Their stories unfold in campaigns across realms like Faerûn and beyond, where they stand as the first line against aberrations slithering from the Underdark, or dragons soaring from jagged peaks. As we explore their history, abilities, and legendary tales in the hours ahead, let these words wrap around you like a protective cloak, warding off wakefulness, inviting dreams where you too might wander free beneath endless canopies. For those who linger, subscribe to join our growing fellowship of dreamers. Now, breathe deeply. We step lightly into the wilds together. Rangers did not spring forth, fully formed from the ether. Rather, they emerged gradually, their essence shaped by the primal forces that govern the wilds across countless worlds. Picture the earliest whispers of their kind in the dawn of creation, when the gods first sculpted the landscapes of Toril and Orth realms where nature's fury and serenity intertwined. In those primordial times, as recounted in the sacred scrolls of Greyhawk, the first rangers were born from necessity, wanderers who arose amid the chaos of the Sul-Baklunish wars, guardians who learned to navigate scorched badlands and enchanted groves, their skills forged in the fires of survival against elemental upheavals and monstrous incursions. Envision the mists of antiquity parting to reveal these proto-rangers in the Forgotten Realms, where the fall of Netheril scattered arcane remnants across the deserts of Anauroch. Here, nomadic tribes, humans and elves alike, evolved into vigilant scouts, attuned to the shifting sands that hid buried horrors like Faerûns and ancient liches. Their history is one of quiet adaptation, passed down through oral traditions around flickering campfires in the high moor, where elders speak of the first to bond with the land's spirits, drawing strength from the weave's untamed strands. In Eberron, amid the scarred remnants of the last war, rangers trace their lineage to the druidic gatekeepers of the Eldine Reaches, who sealed Exoriat's gates against aberrant tides. These early wardens patrolled the gloaming, their blades etched with runes that hummed with the plane's eerie energies, blending martial vigilance with a deep, instinctive magic that echoed the world's wounded pulse. As the ages turned, like leaves in an autumn gale, the role of rangers deepened across the plains. In the shadowed vaults of Ravenloft, where fog-bound domains trapped the unwary, rangers became spectral hunters, their origins tied to the Vistani nomads who traversed the mists learning to track werebeasts under blood moons, their arrows tipped with silver gleaned from cursed mines. Feel the chill wind of Barovia's pines, where these guardians first honed their evasion, slipping through vampire-haunted woods like ghosts, their history a chronicle of endurance against the dark power's whims. Further afield, in the planar crossroads of Sigil, rangers evolved as outlander guides, descendants of those who fled the Blood War's fringes, navigating the city's infinite doors with an attunement to the multiverse's hidden paths, their lore inscribed in tomes hidden within the Hive Ward's labyrinthine alleys. In the heart of Faerûn's wilds, the history unfolds with greater clarity. During the time of troubles, when gods walked as mortals, rangers rose prominently among the Harperstho's shadowy agents of balance who patrolled the Sword Coast against Gentarim incursions. Imagine the dense canopy of the Cormyr forests, where early rangers like the Wardens of the Wieldath forged alliances with Treants and Dryads, their origins rooted in elven pacts from the days of Mithranor. These pacts birthed traditions of favored enemies, targeting the orc hordes that poured from the spine of the world, or the drow raiders emerging from the Underdark's depths. In Dragonlance's Kryn, amid the War of the Lance, rangers mirrored the Solamnic Knight scouts, their history intertwined with the Qualinesti elves who fled into exile, mastering bows in the Whispering Woods where dragon armies scorched the land. Through the epochs, as detailed in the game's enduring chronicles, rangers have transformed like rivers carving new courses. In the earliest tales from Orth's Flannis, they were fierce warriors of the wild, subclassed under fighters, wielding dual blades against giantkin in the Crystal Mist Mountains. As legends expanded in the tomes of advanced dungeons and dragons, they gained followers pseudo-dragons perched on shoulders, storm giants, as unlikely allies bound by oaths sworn under thunderous skies in the Thunder Peaks. By the era of the Second Chronicles, handbooks unveiled deeper paths. Beastmasters who communed with wolves in the Condlewood, wardens safeguarding druidic circles in the high forest against fiendish intrusions. The Third and Fourth Ages brought versatility, with planar rangers patrolling the astral sea's silver voids, urban scouts blending into Waterdeep's undercity shadows, their history a mosaic of adaptation to realms fractured by spellplague and sundering. In the current weave of the Fifth Era's lore, rangers stand refined flaws, mended like trails cleared, of brambles embodying a harmonious blend of skill and spell in settings like Wildmount, where they guard against the Savalier Wood's corrupting curses, or Avernus, tracking devils through blood-soaked wastelands. Across all these histories, a common thread persists. Rangers as eternal sentinels, their origins a symphony of the land's voice, calling forth those who listen amid the rustle of underbrush and the distant roar of waterfalls. In Mystara's Karameikos, they trace back to Thaiatian explorers who tamed the wilds, forging bonds with centaurs in the hills. In Dark Sun's Athos, scorched by defiling magic, rangers survived as thri-kreen hunters in the Crimson Savannah, their sparse lore whispered in psionic echoes. Feel the passage of time like a soft rain pattering on leaves, washing away the boundaries between eras, revealing rangers as timeless archetypes woven into the multiverse's core. From the icy fjords of Rashomon, where Hathrans train witch wardens against Thayan threats, to the volcanic isles of Chult, where dinosaur-riding guides navigate Ubtau's mazes. Their history is one of resilience, quiet force against the encroaching night. As we linger in these ancient echoes, the wilds seem closer, their secrets unfolding like ferns in the dawn light, inviting us to trace the paths of those who came before. The essence of a ranger, lifestyle and role in the world. Imagine standing at the edge of the Chandlewood, where ancient oaks stretch toward a sky streaked with golden light, the air thick with the scent of moss and the faint tang of pine resin. Here, a ranger moves with purpose yet grace, a solitary figure whose days are woven from the threads of survival, vigilance, and an unspoken pact with the earth itself. Their life is one of ceaseless motion, a nomadic existence that carries them across the sprawling wilderness from the misty vales of the Dalelands to the sun-scorched dunes of Kalimshan, where the wind carries whispers of hidden oases. Rangers rise with the first light, their mornings spent foraging berries from thorny brambles or setting snares along game trails, their hands steady as they craft arrows from fallen branches and feathers plucked from the forest floor. By midday, they might scale the rugged cliffs of the Sword Mountains, tracking the faint prints of a displacer beast, their senses attuned to the rustle of leaves or the snap of a twig that betrays a predator's presence. As dusk falls, they kindle small fires beneath the canopy of the high forest, the flames casting flickering shadows on their weathered faces. Their meals, a humble stew of roots and venison, shared with a loyal wolf companion or a hawk perched nearby, its keen eyes mirroring their own. This lifestyle fosters a deep kinship with the natural world, a bond that sets rangers apart from the armored knights of city keeps or the cloistered mages of arcane towers. In the Forgotten Realms, they often align with druids who tend the sacred groves of the Moonshae Isles, exchanging nods of mutual respect as they tend to overlapping duties, rangers guarding the borders, druids nurturing the heart. Yet their path diverges from the rigid oaths of paladins, whose gleaming steel and divine mandates clash with the ranger's earthy pragmatism. A tension simmers in the air when these two meet, as if the clash of ideals stirs the very ground beneath their feet. In Eberron's Eldine reaches, rangers share a wary camaraderie with barbarians of the Carrion tribes, united against aberrations spilling from Zoriat's rifts, though their approaches differ on striking with primal rage, the other with calculated precision. Rangers hail from diverse roots across the multiverse, their essence shaped by the races that embrace the wild's call. Elves, with their ageless grace, dominate the ranks in the woodlands of Everesca, their long lives lending patience to their hunts. Humans, hardy and adaptable, roam the plains of Am, their resilience forged in the crucible of frontier life. Half-orcs, seeking redemption from tribal wars, find solace in the shadowed vales of the Nether Mountains, their strength tempered by a newfound gentleness toward the land. Each brings a unique hue to the ranger's tapestry, their cultures blending into a shared reverence for the wild's unspoken laws that dictate respect for the prey they take. A ritual offering of thanks murmured to the spirits of the forest, as they skin a deer under the moon's watchful gaze. Their role in the world is that of protectors, a silent shield against the threats that lurk beyond the firelight. In the steaming jungles of Chult, they stalk Yuan-Ti assassins creeping toward villages, their bows silent as they loose arrows into the night. In the icy expanses of Icewind Dale, they guard against Yeti raids on lonely steadings, their tracks erased by swirling snow. Across the plains, from the Astral Sea's silver voids to the shadowed domains of Ravenloft, rangers stand as sentinels, their presence a bulwark against the chaotic forces that seek to unravel the natural order aberrations, fiends and dragons alike. In Kryn's Abanasinia, they patrol the edges of Solace, watching for draconian scouts during the War of the Lance, their vigilance a quiet hymn to the land's endurance. This guardianship often draws them to the service of deities who embody the wild spirit. Mieliki, the forest queen, guides their hands in the Daylands, her presence felt in the rustle of leaves that signal a safe path. Sylvanas, the Oak Father, lends his strength in the depths of the Great Dale, his voice a low rumble in the earth during storms. In Greyhawk's Veziv Forest, rangers pay homage to Elona, the goddess of woodlands, their arrows blessed with her grace as they fend off orcish incursions. These divine ties are not rigid doctrines, but gentle influences, shaping their choices like the wind shapes the trees, leaving room for personal freedom that defines their solitary nature. Yet, solitude is their truest companion, a state that defines their essence more than any weapon or spell. Picture a ranger, pausing on a ridge overlooking the Starspire Mountains, the wind tugging at their cloak as they survey the land they've sworn to protect a land that offers no applause, only the steady heartbeat of its rivers and winds. They thrive in this isolation, finding strength in the company of Beastsa Panther padding silently beside them in the jungles of Zendrick, a raven cawing warnings from a perch in the Great Glacier. Their relationships with others are sparse but profound, forged in moments of shared danger. A nod to a druidic circle's elder, a brief alliance with a bard lost in the wilds, a fleeting trust with a paladin forced to set aside their differences against a common foe. As we linger in this essence, the wilds seem to breathe around us, the scent of damp earth and blooming night flowers filling the air. Rangers embody a lifestyle of harmony and duty, their role a quiet testament to the balance they strive to maintain. In the distant glow of a setting sun over the Moonsea, their silhouette fades into the horizon, a guardian eternal, their story continuing to unfold with each step through the untamed lands. Abilities and powers of the Ranger. Ranger's strength is not merely the steel of a blade or the flight of an arrow, but a deep, resonant harmony with the land that grants them gifts as ancient as the mountains of Toril. Imagine standing beneath the sprawling canopy of the high forest, the air alive with the hum of unseen insects and the distant call of a horned owl, where a ranger moves with an almost ethereal grace, their every action a testament to the wild's whispered teachings. Their power begins with the instinct to know their foes, a skill known as favored enemia, bond forged through countless hours tracking the prints of beasts or the slithering trails of aberrations across the scarred plains of the Shar. Picture a ranger kneeling beside a trampled thicket in the moonwood, their fingers tracing the jagged claw marks of a manticore, their mind piecing together the creature's habits and weaknesses, as if reading a story written in the earth. This attunement allows them to strike with unerring precision, their arrows finding vital points with a hunter's intuition honed by years of watching the dance of predator and prey. Whether facing the scaly hides of Yuan-Ti in Chult's jungles, or the otherworldly shimmer of mind flayers emerging from the Underdark's depths, this gift transforms them into a focused force, their resolve as steady as the roots of an ancient oak. Equally vital is their mastery of terrain, the natural explorer's art that lets them glide through favored landscapes with the ease of a deer bounding through familiar woods. Envision a ranger traversing the misty vales of the Daylands, where the damp ground yields no sound beneath their boots, their steps guided by an innate sense of direction that defies the densest fog. In the frozen wastes of Icewind Dale, they navigate blizzards with a navigator's certainty, finding shelter in snow-laden pines or foraging lichen from beneath the ice. Their knowledge, a lifeline in lands that swallow the unwary. This ability extends to the steaming jungles of Zendrick, where they move unhindered through vine-choked ruins, their senses alert to the rustle of hidden threats, their presence a shadow blending with the humid air. From this deep connection springs their primal magic, a wellspring of spells drawn from nature's essence that hums like a low chant in the wilderness. Imagine a ranger standing on a ridge overlooking the Starspire Mountains, their voice a soft murmur as they weave hunters mark a faint, ethereal glow, binding their target, a Knoll chieftain rampaging through the hills, guiding their arrows with an unseen thread. With a gesture, they summon Goodberry, tiny orbs of fruit appearing in their palm, each bite offering sustenance drawn from the land's bounty, a gift shared with a weary companion or a wounded fawn found in the underbrush. Spells like Pass Without Trace cloak them in silence as they slip past a dragon's lair in the Wormbones, their footsteps muffled by a veil of natural magic, while Cure Wounds mends a gash earned in battle against a troll, the healing warmth flowing like a spring's gentle current. In combat, their prowess is a fluid dance, shaped by styles that reflect the wild's diverse lessons. Picture an archer perched on a crag in the Sword Mountains, their bow drawn taut, an arrow loosed with a whistle that cuts the wind, striking a wyvern mid-flight, with a crack of thunderous impact their archery style, a legacy of elven precision, honed in Evereska's glades. Alternatively, envision a dual wielder in the shadowed vales of the Nether Mountains, twin blades flashing like lightning as they parry a displacer beast's tentacles, their two-weapon fighting, a whirlwind of steel born from half-orc tenacity. Their evasion is legendary, a sidestep that turns an ogre's club into a mist roar, their agility a gift of the land that lets them melt into the undergrowth, leaving only the echo of their passage. These powers are not mere tools but extensions of the ranger's soul, bestowed by the wilds they serve. In the Astral Sea's silver voids, a planar ranger channels their attunement to detect portals, their senses tingling as they track a Githyanki raider through shimmering rifts, their blade infused with the plane's ethereal energy. In Ravenloft's fog-bound domains, they wield spells like protection from evil and good, a shimmering ward against the dark power's minions, their magic a beacon of resilience in the mists. Even in the scorched wastes of Athos, a three-creen ranger harnesses psionic echoes to enhance their leaps, evading defiler blasts with a chitinous grace that mirrors the crimson savanna's harsh beauty. Their abilities evolve with experience, growing like a tree reaching for the sun. As they master their craft, they gain the knack to hide in plain sight, vanishing into a snowbank in Icewind Dale or a fern thicket in the Chondlewood, their form blending with the environment, as if the land itself claims them. They learn to summon primal beasts, a dire wolf snarling at a fiend in Avernus, a giant eagle soaring over the great glacier companions summoned from the wild spirit, their bond a silent pact sealed with a nod. Spells deepen too, with conjure animals calling forth a herd to stampede through orcish ranks in the spine of the world, or Swift Quiver filling their quiver with phantom arrows that rain down on a dragon's scales in the Wormbones. Feel the pulse of this power as it resonates through the air, the scent of damp earth and blooming night flowers mingling with the distant roar of a waterfall. In the lore of Dungeons and Dragons, a ranger's abilities are a gift from the land, a harmony of skill and magic that flows like a river through their veins. Whether they stand against a horde in Wildmount Savalierwood, or track a devil through Avernus's blood-soaked plains. Their prowess is a quiet symphony, each note a testament to the wild's enduring strength. As we linger in this essence, the wilds seem to draw closer, their secrets unfolding like petals in the dawn light. Subclasses and archetypes, paths of the ranger. First among these trails is the hunter, a steadfast embodiment of the primal warrior whose essence is rooted in the raw, unyielding tactics of survival against overwhelming odds. In the lore of Faerûn, hunters are the unpretentious guardians of the frontiers, tailoring their vigilance to the party's needs, standing as durable sentinels in the face of hordes that scar the land. Picture a ranger in the rugged Sword Mountains, their form a silhouette against the dawn, eyes locked on marauding orcs pouring from the spine of the world. Their role a quiet promise of protection for the vulnerable villages below, a narrative of endurance and strategic foresight woven into the fabric of the wild's defense. Next, the Beastmaster strides forth, their path eternally entwined with the loyal spirits of the wild's creatures, evoking the timeless fantasy of explorers bound to fierce animal companions. Envision a ranger deep in the Chandlewood, a majestic wolf or soaring eagle at their side, its eyes gleaming with shared purpose under the dappled sunlight. In Eberron's lore, Beastmasters descend from the ancient gatekeepers of the Eldine Reaches, who forged sacred pacts to ward off aberrations from Zoriat's rifts. Their story one of emotional partnership and adaptation, where the companion becomes an extension of the soul, roaming diverse terrains from dense jungles to frozen tundras in harmonious tandem. From the shadows emerges the Gloomstalker, a phantom woven from the essence of night and obscurity, thriving in the perpetual twilight of dungeons, caves, and the treacherous Underdark. Imagine a ranger melting into the gloom of Ravenloft's fog-bound domains, their presence a terrifying whisper that ambushes foes under blood moons, hunting vampires and other nocturnal horrors with an unseen grace. Their lore speaks of scouts who patrol the Nether Mountain's moonless vales, becoming invisible threats in the dark, a tale of stealth and dread that turns the absence of light into an ally, guarding against those who rely on shadowed senses. The Horizon Walker treads the vales between planes, a nomadic guardian of cosmic equilibrium whose journey spans the multiverse's infinite horizons. Picture a ranger stepping through shimmering portals in Sigil's labyrinthine alleys, their essence tied to the fluid boundaries of dimensions, navigating ethereal voids and striking across realms. In Wildmount's chronicles, they emerge as planar sentinels patrolling the cursed edges of the Savalier Wood, detecting rifts that spill otherworldly fiends. Their narrative, a saga of mobility and interdimensional vigilance, bridging worlds with a wanderer's unyielding resolve. The Fey Wanderer dances along the capricious borders of the Feywild, their spirit infused with the tricky allure of Fey magic and enchanting whimsy. Envision a ranger in the enchanted glades of the High Forest, their aura shimmering with otherworldly glamour, whispering influences that charm pixies or evade hags in twilight realms. Rooted in the Forgotten Realm's Court of Stars, their lore tells of pacts with Fey Lords, granting resilience against enchantments and a graceful navigation of social intrigues, positioning them as enigmatic faces in the party, wandering through realms where reality bends like a dream. Venturing into darker hunts, the Monster Slayer embodies the focused pursuit of supernatural threats, a streamlined archetype dedicated to tracking and vanquishing monstrous perils. In the scarred wastelands of Avernus, their tales unfold as crusaders purging infernal outposts, observing and preying upon devils or aberrations with a hunter's keen senses. Their background paints them as balanced warriors of the wild, stacking their resolve against specific foes in the Nine Hells or Faerûn's haunted moors. A chronicle of tactical endurance against the unnatural forces that disrupt the natural order. The swarmkeeper is enveloped in the dynamic hum of a living multitude, a swarm of tiny creatures, be it insects, pixies, or birds that swirls around them like a living cloak. Picture a ranger in the steaming jungles of Chult, their form accompanied by this ever-present cloud, drawn from Yuan Ti ruins, where ancient mysteries whisper. Their lore revolves around tactical symbiosis with the swarm, enhancing their presence in diverse environments from dense thickets to open plains. A narrative of complexity and control, where the collective becomes a extension of the ranger's will in the wild's intricate. Finally, the Drake Warden forges a profound bond with draconic spirits, manifesting as a loyal Drake companion that evolves from a grounded ally to a soaring mount. Envision a ranger in Kryn's Abyssinia during the War of the Lance, a dragonet perched on their shoulder, its scales glinting in the sun as they commanded against draconian foes. Their essence is steeped in draconic legacy, summoning and nurturing this powerful entity across metallic dragon lineages, their story a hymn of growth and versatility, standing as frontline protectors with a mythical partner that echoes the ancient might of dragons. Famous rangers and legendary tales. First among these luminaries is Drizzt Do'Urden, a drow exile whose name is whispered with reverence from the Underdark's depths to the snowy expanses of Icewind Dale. Picture him emerging from the shadowed tunnels of Menzoberranzan, his twin scimitars Icing Death and Twinkle flashing like moonlight on water as he battles the prejudice of his own kind and the horrors that stalk the surface. His tale begins with a flight from the Spider Queen Lolth's tyranny, a journey that led him to the companions of the Hall Bruenor, Catti-brie, and others where his skill with blades and his unyielding moral compass forged a legend. In the frozen wilds, he tracked Yeti and goblins with a hunter's grace, his panther companion Gwen Weavar summoned from the astral plane to aid in battles against the demon Ertu. His story is one of redemption, a solitary ranger finding purpose amid the blizzards of the north, his violet eyes reflecting the resilience of a soul bound to the wilds. Next, we turn to Minsk, the boisterous warrior of Baldur's Gate, whose larger-than-life spirit is matched only by his unwavering loyalty to his miniature giant space hamster, Boo. Envision him charging through the cloakwood with a roar that shakes the trees, his greatsword cleaving through gnolls and ogres as Boo perches on his shoulder, offering sage advice in squeaks only Minsk understands. His lore traces back to Rashaman, where he served as a berserker guard, but a quest to cure his witch Dynahair's enchantment led him to the Sword Coast, where he became a ranger of unmatched fervor. In the tales of the Baldur's Gate saga, he roamed the wilds with a heart as vast as the Chianthar River, protecting the innocent with a blend of humor and heroism, his presence a beacon of hope amid the chaos of the Ballspawn crisis. From the animated chronicles of the Forgotten Realms comes Hank, a young archer whose energy bow lit the shadows of distant dungeons. Picture him navigating the treacherous corridors of the Undermountain, his arrows glowing with magical force as he faced beholders and mind flayers alongside his companions, Eric, Diana, and Presto. His tale, born from the 1980s cartoon, portrays a ranger of youthful determination, his skills honed in the wilds beyond Waterdeep, where he learned to track and survive against the drow and their minions. Though a figure of animated lore, his story resonates with the spirit of rangers who guard the edges of civilization. His bow, a symbol of resilience in the face of otherworldly threats. In the shadowed vales of the Moonsea, Wren of the Blade carved his name into legend, a ranger whose stealth rivaled the night itself. Imagine him slipping through the ruins of Gentile Keep, his blades flashing as he dispatched demons summoned by the Gentarim, his movements a dance of shadow and steel. His lore speaks of a lone wanderer who turned the tide against infernal invasions. his origins tied to the rugged hills where he learned to track fiends across planar rifts. His tale is one of quiet sacrifice, a guardian who vanished into the wilds after each victory, leaving only whispers of his deeds among the survivors of ravaged villages. Jabe, fierce and free, roamed the jungles of Chult with a grace that belied her deadly precision. Envision her atop a dinosaur mount, her spear piercing the scales of a tyrannosaurus as she defended a hidden Emerald Enclave outpost from Yuan-Ti raids. Her story, rooted in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, portrays a ranger of the frontier, her skills honed in the humid haze where she tracked cultists and aberrations alike. Her legend grew as she guided lost adventurers through the jungles, her presence a symbol of wild endurance, her bond with the land a testament to Chult's untamed spirit. In the distant reaches of Krynn, Tanis Half-Elven walked a path of duality, his ranger's heart torn between elven grace and human passion. Picture him leading the companions of the Lance through the Corollas Mountains, his bowstring singing as he felled Draconian scouts during the War of the Lance. His lore, chronicled in the Dragonlance saga, reveals a leader forged in the wilds of Qualinesti, where he learned to navigate the forests and mediate between races. His tale is one of struggle and unity, a ranger whose tracking skills and combat prowess turned the tide against Takasis's forces, his legacy a bridge between worlds. Let us now ease into the gentle twilight of our journey, where the tales of rangers in the lore of Dungeons and Dragons settle like a soft blanket over the wilds we've wandered together. Imagine standing at the edge of the high forest as the last light fades, the air cooling with the scent of damp earth, and the distant murmur of a stream blending with the rustle of leaves. A quiet symphony that mirrors the rhythm of your own breath. Our path through their origins, their essence, their powers, their diverse archetypes, and the legends of their greatest heroes has carried us across the multiverse from the snowy peaks of Icewind Dale to the steaming jungles of Chult, from the shadowed tunnels of the Underdark to the shimmering portals of Sigil. These rangers, with their solitary vigilance and deep bonds with the land, teach us a timeless lesson woven into the fabric of Faerûn and beyond. The strength to protect comes from harmony with the natural world, a balance that holds even as aberrations, fiends, and dragons threaten to unravel it. Picture Drizzt Do'Urden's quiet resolve under the northern stars, Minsk's boisterous laughter echoing through the cloakwood, or Eojabe's graceful strides through Chult's ruins. Their stories remind us that the wilds are both a refuge and a responsibility, a place where solitude fosters courage and every step guards the fragile peace. In the lore, their presence is a shield, their legacy a whisper in the wind that soothes the restless spirit. As we linger here, let the sounds of the wild envelope you the hoot of an owl perched in the branches, the gentle trickle of water over stones, the sigh of a breeze carrying the fragrance of night-blooming flowers. Feel the tension of the day melt away, like snow yielding to the warmth of spring, as the ranger's quiet strength seeps into your bones. Their world is one of enduring cycles day, turning to night, predator to prey, vigilance to re-stand in this moment. We embrace the latter. The trails we've followed now lead to a place of stillness, where the mind can drift like a leaf on a tranquil pond, undisturbed by the chaos beyond. This journey through the sleeping bestiary has been a shared adventure, a lullaby crafted to guide you into the realm of dreams. If these tales have woven comfort into your night, consider joining our Fellowship of Dreamers. Subscribe to explore more lore with us, and tap the bell to be roused only by the next chapter in our saga. Perhaps tomorrow we'll wander into the mysteries of another guardian of the wild, or delve into the secrets of ancient ruins lost to time. For now, let the wild's embrace hold you close, the ranger's watch extending over your slumber as the stars begin their silent vigil above. Breathe deeply now, letting the air fill your chest with the essence of the forest. Then release it slowly, carrying away the last traces of wakefulness. The night is yours to claim, a vast and peaceful expanse where the stories linger like a gentle fog, guiding you to rest. Until we meet again on these paths, may your dreams be filled with the quiet beauty of the wilds,